everyone, mero-chan here, and I'm going to be talking about Cosie Con and Northern California Cosies. So this took place this past weekend on January 9th, 2016. Almost forgot the year. And it was at the West Side Theater in Newman, California. I am very sure most of you have never heard of that town ever. This con was pretty much set up to be a little get-together before the Northern California Cosies took place. And the Cosies are pretty much an award ceremony, kind of like the Oscars, but for cosplayers. I didn't know about it until a couple weeks ago, so I was really sad I didn't get to compete, but they had some great cosplayers in there. So pretty much there's different categories like adult, teen, professional, photography, stuff like that, and you were either nominated or you could send an application, and then you went through a process to see if you were going to be in the top 3 nominees. Now if you were in the top 3 nominees, then you were invited to come to the Cosies, and there the audience voted. Then you would find out who won the Cosie, which of course is this little trophy with stars on it, just like, you know, an Oscar or an Emmy. I think it's a really good concept. They just need to advertise it more. Just because I felt like there was not enough people in it, and also the people who did show up to the convention or to the Cosies ended up winning. Usually pretty much one person from each category showed up, and that person who showed up for that category won. That didn't happen in all categories, but it was definitely a trend. But I'm really hoping that more people join next year and it becomes a bigger thing, and hopefully at a bigger venue that's easily accessible to cosplayers who don't necessarily live in the Central Valley or around it. Another thing I think they could improve on with the Cosies is to have maybe online voting or some other way of voting instead of the audience voting at the Cosies, because I felt like it was a little biased and you could really just like take all your friends and take your whole family and you would pretty much win your Cosie. That definitely needs some work, but I still liked it, and everyone deserves an award because they were all amazing and great, and I loved all the cosplayers. So to the con, which was Cosie Con. So Cosie Con was a couple hours before the Cosies happened. Now there was a red carpet event and then the Cosies, but before that there was a small convention that happened inside the theater, and it had a cosplay contest, cosplay 101 panel, dance performances, and the geek fashion show. They didn't have too many booths set up. There was a few in the middle and a few on the side. Not too many, but it had artists and other community members from the Central Valley. It was definitely fun to meet some cosplayers from my hometown area. I do live in San Francisco most of the year, but I do live in the Central Valley for about 4 to 3 months out of the year. So it's definitely fun to meet other community members. So the costume contest, I joined that. It was really fun. You just went up there and they asked you, how did you make your costume? How long did it take? It was really cool and a great way for people to experience what a cosplay contest would feel like, since many of them, that was like their first time experiencing one. Definitely was good practice. Another thing I enjoyed was the geek fashion show, but I was in it, but I enjoyed watching the video, minus me, because that was really weird. They had asked me last minute to model, and I don't do that. I've never done it, so it was really awkward for me, but I tried, and that's my whole thing, is I'm gonna try new things this year. So that was fun. There were some things that were a little weird, like they had 2 dance groups and I'm pretty sure they sponsored them, which is why they were there performing, but the differences between the groups of people, like the cosplayers, the convention goers, and then the families who were there to watch their children, it clashed a little. I don't think there was any problems. I know with my friend who was cosplaying Ruby from Ruby Rose from Ruby. She had made her scythe, and one of the parents decided to pick it up because they wanted to stand where the scythe was, and they totally broke it. And they could have just simply came up and asked, hey, can we move your scythe? Can you move your scythe? So I could go and watch my child. You know, and I had a lot of parents staring at me I was Yang from Ruby, Yang Xiaolong. And so, you know, it's not a revealing costume, but it's not also a super covered up costume. So I did get a few stares and felt a little uncomfortable. But it was definitely fun to watch the dance troops perform. Some of them were really good. Everyone was pretty friendly, the staff was friendly. It was a very small con, so I wouldn't suggest going by yourself. I probably would have been bored if I didn't have my friend there with me. You know, just being dorks like usual. Something to come out to if you're new to cosplay, if you're new to the convention scene, and you live in Northern California. Most of the people there, it was their first, second convention, and even then they hadn't been to big conventions like, the big ones around here would be SAC Anime and Fanime. So yeah, that's my con experience. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you later. Happy cosplaying!